May I stay with you, human? The alien woman asks to be my roommate. Alex Carter lived on Station Aurora, a trade station orbiting a quiet planet in the edge of the galactic rim. The station was not very big, just a collection of metal modules floating in space, but it had everything people needed. Shops, small apartments, docking bays, and a few quiet gardens with artificial sunlight. Alex liked it here. It was calm, and people mostly left him alone. He worked as a logistics technician, arranging supplies and helping with cargo transport between ships. The job was simple, routine, and safe. Most of all, it let him live a quiet life without too much trouble. Alex was small and thin, with brown hair that never seemed to stay in place and green eyes that often looked tired. He preferred books and quiet spaces over noise and crowds. Humans on Aurora were few, and most of them kept to themselves. Aliens of many shapes and sizes lived here too. Some were tall with long limbs, others had scales, fur, or even glowing skin. Alex didn't mind them. He had learned long ago that it was better to mind his own business than to argue about differences. One morning, Alex woke to a loud knock on his door. He frowned. Deliveries usually came later in the day. When he opened the door, he saw a woman standing there. She was not a human. She was an alien, but not like the usual aliens on the station. She was taller than him, with smooth silver skin that shimmered in the light, and eyes that were deep violet. Her hair looked like liquid silver, flowing and shifting as she moved. She wore a simple tunic that glowed softly. She looked nervous, her hands folded in front of her. "Hello," she said in perfect common speech. "May I stay with you, human?" Alex blinked. He had expected many strange things in his life, but a stranger showing up at his door and asking to live with him was not one of them. He opened his mouth to say something, but nothing came out at first. What?" he finally said. His voice sounded weak even to him. "May I stay with you?" she repeated, her voice calm but serious. "My home is destroyed. I have nowhere else to go. Please." Alex felt a mix of surprise and confusion. The station was large. Why would she come to him? He lived alone in a small apartment with barely enough space for himself. He had never hosted anyone before. The idea of sharing his space with a stranger, especially an alien, seemed impossible. Why me?" Alex asked, scratching his head. The alien woman tilted her head slightly, her violet eyes studying him. "I sensed safety here. Humans do not fear me. You do not try to control me." "Please! I do not ask for much. Only a place to rest." Alex did not understand how she knew so much about him. He had barely spoken to her. Yet there was something in her voice that made him trust her, something gentle but urgent. He hesitated, thinking of the dangers. Rumors about her species floated on the station. Tales of emotional volatility, unpredictable power, and even deadly abilities. Most humans avoided them. But Alex felt he could not explain it. But he felt he could not refuse her. "Okay," he said finally. "You can stay. But just for now, we'll figure things out." Her eyes brightened slightly, and she gave him a small nod. "Thank you, human. I promise I will not trouble you." Alex stepped aside and let her enter. She moved carefully, as if she did not want to damage anything. His apartment was small, with a bed pushed against one wall, a tiny kitchen area, and a workspace with tools and supplies. There was not much space, but it was enough for one person. Alex watched her examine everything quietly, her eyes soft and careful. "It is small," she said, looking around. "But it is safe, thank you." Alex nodded, unsure what else to say. Silence stretched for a moment, filled only by the faint hum of the station outside. He studied her as she moved. She did not touch anything roughly. She did not speak much. It was clear she had been through a lot. Her calmness felt strange to Alex. Most aliens on Aurora were loud, busy, and sometimes aggressive. She was different. "What is your name?" Alex asked finally. Lyra, she said. And yours? Alex, he replied. Alex Carter, Alex Carter, she repeated. I will remember. For the rest of the morning, Alex and Lyra talked quietly. She asked about simple things, how to use the stove, how to get water, how to take showers. Alex answered, surprised by how normal it felt. It was strange, he realized, having someone in his face, but not strange in a bad way. There was a calmness about her presence that made him feel safe in return. Over the next few days, Lyra settled in. She did not take much space. She had a small bag with a few belongings, which she kept neatly in a corner. She helped with chores without asking, cleaning and organizing. Alex noticed she never complained. She ate simple food and rarely spoke unless necessary, yet she watched him often, quietly, as if learning everything about his life. It was not creepy. It was attentive, careful, considerate. Neighbors started to notice. Other aliens on the station whispered when they saw her. She did not look dangerous, but her species carried a reputation. Station security officers came by once to ask Alex if he knew her and whether she posed a threat. Alex shrugged. She is not dangerous. She just needs a place to stay. They looked skeptical but left after she smiled politely at them. Alex realized that she could charm almost anyone without trying. Alex also noticed small things about Lyra that made him curious. She seemed able to sense moods. If he was tired, she would speak softly or step aside. If he was stressed, she would offer small comforts, a warm drink, a quiet word, or just a presence. Alex was not used to being understood in this way. Most humans, and even aliens, ignored him. With Lyra, it felt different. He could breathe. He could think. He could be himself. One evening, Alex came back from work to find her staring out the window at the view of space. She stood in silence, her silver skin glowing in the soft light. It is beautiful, she said. Humans take simple things for granted. Alex stood behind her, looking at the endless stars. I guess we do, he said. We are too busy with our lives. And yet, she said, you humans survive. You adapt. You endure. That is remarkable. Alex felt a small smile. No alien had ever complimented humans like that. Most saw them as weak, chaotic, unpredictable. Lyra saw something else. He did not know why, but it made him proud. As days passed, life settled into a quiet rhythm. Alex went to work, Lyra stayed in the apartment, and they spoke occasionally. It was strange, peaceful, and comforting. Alex began to feel that having Lyra there was not a burden but a gift. It was odd to think of someone else as a friend, or more, but the thought was not unpleasant. Then came the first test. One night while Alex was asleep, a loud crash shook the apartment. Alarms rang from the station. Alex woke to see figures outside his window, alien soldiers from a rival faction. They were looking for Lyra. Rumors of her species' dangerous abilities had reached them, and they wanted her removed. Alex froze. He had no weapons, no plan, nothing. Panic rose in his chest. Lyra turned to him, calm. Her eyes glowed faintly. Stay behind me, she said softly. Her voice was firm, commanding. Alex obeyed, though his heart raced. She opened her hand slightly, and a faint light pulsed. The intruders stopped, hesitated, confused. Alex did not understand what she was doing, but he trusted her. Humans are clever, she said quietly, but you are also brave. Alex realized that she believed in him, even when he did not feel brave at all. Together, they faced the threat. The intruders left after sensing that the apartment was protected. No one was hurt, but Alex felt a mix of fear and awe. Lyra had defended them both, silently, without aggression or cruelty. It was enough. It was more than enough. After that night, Alex knew life would never be the same. He had let a stranger into his home, and in return, she had brought a kind of strength and peace he never knew he could have. He also realized something else. He did not want her to leave. He did not know why exactly, but it was more than simple curiosity or pity. It was connection. And Lyra? She smiled quietly, as if she already knew. She had found not just a safe place to stay, but a human who could see her, understand her, and care for her in ways few beings could. Alex Carter, small and quiet, had become her home, and she had become his unexpected companion in the vast, lonely reaches of space. Life on Station Aurora continued, small and ordinary to outsiders, but for Alex and Lyra, it was full of possibility, curiosity, and quiet adventure. The galaxy outside remained vast and dangerous, but inside the apartment there was trust, there was calm, and there was a beginning. A beginning neither of them could have predicted, but both silently hoped would last. And in the quiet hum of the station, among the blinking lights and distant stars, a human and an alien woman began a story that would change both of them, and perhaps the galaxy. Forever. Life settled into a new rhythm for Alex and Lyra, but it was not always easy. Sharing an apartment, even a small one, came with challenges. Alex was used to quiet and routine. Lyra was used to her own ways, her culture, her habits. Sometimes these clashed in small, funny ways. One morning, Alex woke to find Lyra standing over the small kitchen counter. She was holding a strange device he had never seen before. It hummed softly, and small lights blinked across its surface. "What is that?" Alex asked, rubbing his eyes. "It is for making food," Lyra replied simply. "In my home, we do not cook with fire. It is dangerous. This is safer and faster." Alex stared at it. "You mean breakfast?" She nodded. "Do humans eat this way?" Alex shook his head slowly. "No, usually cereal or toast or eggs. Sometimes toast burns." Lyra looked at him with wide violet eyes. "Burn? Why would you eat burned food?" Alex laughed despite himself. "We don't always have the right tools. Sometimes mistakes happen." Kara seemed puzzled but intrigued. She pressed a few buttons, and the device whirred. Soon, a small tray of steaming food appeared. The smell was strange, alien, but not unpleasant. Alex took a bite cautiously. It was warm, filling, and surprisingly good. "Not bad," he said, smiling. "I am glad," Lyra said. She tilted her head. "Humans are adaptable." "You can eat many things without complaint," Alex chuckled. "I guess we have to be. Life doesn't always give us the perfect meal." As the days passed, Alex and Lyra began learning more about each other. Alex taught her simple human habits, how to use the shower, how to make simple meals, even how to handle small repairs around the apartment. Lyra, in turn, showed Alex little things from her own culture, ways to meditate, techniques for focus, and strange small exercises that improved his balance and reflexes. Alex discovered that these exercises, while simple, made him feel stronger and sharper. Sometimes, however, the differences were amusing or frustrating. Alex was used to schedules and plans. Lyra was not. "Yes, I can see that." They walked slowly, looking at shops selling everything from clothing to gadgets to small foods. Lyra was fascinated by the simplest things: a machine that made drinks, small toys shaped like animals, colorful cloth. She touched things gently, asking Alex what they were, how they worked, and why humans used them. Alex answered patiently, happy to see her so curious. Then they reached a food stall. The vendor was human, grinning at the crowd. "Fresh pastries!" he called. "Warm, sweet, perfect for everyone!" Lyra tilted her head. "I do not understand." "Why do humans eat sugar when it is not necessary for survival?" Alex smiled. "It tastes good." "Sometimes that is reason enough." She tried a small pastry, taking a careful bite. Her eyes widened in surprise. "Delicious," she whispered. "Humans enjoy even what is not needed." "That is strange but good." Alex laughed. He liked the way she thought. "Aliens were often practical. Humans were messy and emotional, but Lyra seemed to enjoy learning the differences. Back at the apartment, life returned to normal. But they were not alone for long. Rumors about Lyra's presence spread. Some aliens watched the apartment suspiciously. Whispers about her species' abilities reached Alex's ears. He worried. But he did not want to lose her. She was quiet, harmless, and kind. One afternoon, Station Security Officer Nathan Reed knocked on their door. He was tall, serious, and clearly expecting trouble. "Good afternoon," Alex said, trying to sound calm. "How can I help you?" "We received reports about a displaced alien in your apartment," Nathan said. "She is from a species known for volatility. Is she staying here?" Alex nodded. "Yes, she is my guest. She is not dangerous." Nathan looked skeptical. He glanced at Lyra, who smiled politely. "I assure you, officer, I am not dangerous," she said softly. Nathan studied them both, then nodded slowly. "We will monitor, but for now I see no reason for action. Just be careful." As he left, Alex exhaled in relief. Lyra looked at him with quiet amusement. "Humans worry too much," she said. "It is..." Alex shook his head. "Charming? It is stressful." She smiled. "Perhaps. But it shows care. Humans care deeply. That is why you survive, Alex Carter. Not strength, not weapons, not size. But loyalty, attention, love." Alex did not answer. He only watched her, realizing she had begun to understand humans in ways few could. Their daily life continued with small adventures, learning, and shared moments. Alex learned to cook more like her, mixing simple ingredients with careful precision. Lyra learned to navigate human bureaucracy and even helped Alex organize supplies at work, much to the surprise of his colleagues. They became a team, complementing each other's strengths and weaknesses. One night, Alex woke to see Lyra staring out the window again. She was quiet, thoughtful, watching the stars. "What are you thinking?" Alex asked softly. "About humans," she said. "About life here. You survive even in a galaxy that does not always care. That is remarkable." Alex smiled. "We do our best," she turned to him. "And sometimes we find friends. Even when we are far from home. Even when we are lost." Alex felt a warmth he had not felt before. It was strange, new, and powerful. He realized that having Lyra in his life had changed him. He was no longer just a quiet human in a quiet apartment. He was part of something larger, something important, even if it was small and personal. The galaxy outside remained vast and dangerous, but inside their apartment there was trust, there was understanding, and there was growing friendship. Alex and Lyra were different, from different worlds, yet they fit together in ways neither could have predicted. And as days turned into weeks, they began to rely on each other more. Alex found courage he did not know he had. Lyra found comfort she had not felt in years. Their bond was quiet, but it was strong, a small but bright light in the vastness of space. Life on Station Aurora went on. Ordinary for most, but extraordinary for them. Small challenges, small adventures, and quiet discoveries filled their days. Alex and Lyra were learning each other's worlds, slowly but surely, and neither would ever be the same. And so, their story continued, simple and calm, yet full of curiosity, trust, and the beginnings of something deeper, something neither human nor alien alone could have created. Life on Station Aurora had grown comfortable for Alex and Lyra, but comfort could not last forever. The station was a hub for many species, some friendly, some not. Rumors about Lyra's species had spread further, and not all attention was welcome. One quiet morning, Alex noticed movement outside the apartment window. Shadowy figures, too fast and careful to be casual passers-by, lingered near the docking bay. Something about them felt wrong. "Lyra," Alex whispered, grabbing her sleeve. "Look! Something is not right!" Lyra's violet eyes narrowed. She stepped to the window, scanning the figures. "They are scouts. she said softly. From the faction that wants me gone. Alex's stomach tightened. He had hoped that by keeping her hidden and quiet, they could avoid trouble. He had been wrong. Danger was coming, whether they wanted it or not. "What do they want?" Alex asked. "To take me," Lyra said. "They fear my abilities. They want to control me or remove me from this station. They do not care how." Alex swallowed hard. He had never faced real danger before. In the quiet safety of his life, problems were usually solved with paperwork, schedules, or quiet reasoning. This was different. Real, physical threat. And it was coming straight for them. Lyra turned to him. "Stay calm. We will not run. We will face them together." Alex nodded, though his hands trembled. He trusted her more than anyone, but fear was hard to ignore. They prepared the apartment, moving heavy objects near doors and windows, turning off unnecessary lights and closing every access point. Alex tried to think like a human soldier in an emergency. Stay calm, stay alert, use the space wisely. Lyra watched, giving small instructions, adjusting their plans with precision. Hours later, a loud crash shook the station. The alien scouts had arrived. They did not knock, did not ask politely. Their long limbs smashed through the docking bay doors, weapons ready, faces covered by strange masks. Alex's heart raced. He had never held a weapon in his life. All he had were tools and his wits. Lyra stepped in front of him. Her silver skin glowed faintly, and her hands moved in careful flowing gestures. Light pulsed softly around her fingers, strange and mesmerizing. The intruders froze, sensing her power. Alex did not understand the exact mechanism, but he knew one thing. She could protect them both. "Stay behind me," Lyra whispered. Alex obeyed, ducking behind the makeshift barricade they had prepared. His mind raced. Could he do anything useful? Could a human survive against a group of skilled alien operatives? Lyra's calm presence steadied him. Her confidence gave him courage, even when he felt powerless. The intruders tried to advance, but every step they took was slowed by the subtle defenses Lyra had prepared. Beams of light shimmered near doors, invisible but solid, and the air around them seemed harder, as if resisting the intruders' movement. Alex realized that she had set up traps, small, careful, non-lethal traps that made it almost impossible for the enemies to reach them quickly. "Human," Lyra said quietly. "Use the tools near the table. Think quickly." Alex looked at the table and saw a few wrenches, pipes, and loose cables. He grabbed them, trying to understand what she meant. Lyra pointed to a pipe near the floor. He lifted it and dropped it in a precise spot. The moment the intruders stepped there, it clattered loudly, causing one of them to stumble. Lyra's soft pulses of light amplified the effect, and suddenly 2 intruders were off balance, tripping over wires and tools Alex had placed instinctively. "Good," Lyra said. "Keep moving. Do not hesitate." Alex felt a strange surge of pride. He had never imagined himself capable of this. In the quiet safety of his life, he had never needed courage like this. Now, every move mattered. Every decision could protect him or fail. The fight continued for minutes that felt like hours. Lyra moved with grace and precision, combining defense and distraction. Alex followed her instructions, improvising where necessary, using his knowledge of the apartment layout to create obstacles and block paths. Together, they became an unlikely team, human and alien, working in sync against a threat neither could handle alone. Finally, the intruders hesitated. Lyra stepped forward, her hands glowing brighter. The intruders exchanged nervous glances, realizing the apartment was not easy to penetrate. One by one, they retreated, slipping back through the broken doors, leaving the apartment quiet once more. Alex sank to the floor, exhausted, heart pounding. "We did it," he said, barely able to speak. Lyra knelt beside him, her expression gentle. "We survived," she said softly. "Together! That is what matters." Alex realized something important in that moment. Humans often survived because they had ingenuity, adaptability, and courage when needed. He had proven to himself that he could face danger, even when the odds were against him. And Lyra had shown him that strength came not just from power but from trust, coordination, and calm thinking. The next few days were tense. Security patrols increased, rumors spread, and Alex and Lyra had to be careful about every movement. But they also grew closer. The shared danger had created a bond neither could ignore. Alex found himself watching Lyra more than usual, noticing small details, the way her eyes softened when she looked at him, the slight tilt of her head when thinking, the quiet way she moved through the apartment. Lyra, in turn, observed Alex, noting his quick-thinking courage and willingness to adapt. One evening after the alarms had stopped and the station returned to its usual hum, Alex and Lyra sat together quietly. The small apartment felt safe again, almost peaceful. "You were amazing," Alex said finally. I never thought I could do that, but you made me see. Humans can be strong too." Lyra smiled faintly. "Strength is not just physical. It is also courage, loyalty, and care. You have all of these, Alex Carter. Do not underestimate yourself." Alex felt a warmth in his chest. He had never felt truly seen by anyone before. Humans often hid their fears and weaknesses. Aliens often judged by appearances. But Lyra, she understood him. She believed in him. "Thank you," he said softly, "for everything." "Thank you," Lyra replied, "for letting me stay. For trusting me. For being brave even when you were afraid." That night, Alex lay awake, thinking about what had happened. The galaxy outside was dangerous, unpredictable, and full of threats, but inside his small apartment he had found something rare: a partner, a friend, someone who believed in him as much as he believed in her. He realized that life would never be quiet again. The station would continue to be a mix of humans, aliens, and chaos. There would be threats, challenges, and surprises. But now, he was not alone. Lyra was with him, and together, they could face anything. The next morning, Alex woke to find Lyra already awake, gazing out the window at the stars. She turned to him. "They may come again," she said softly. "But we will be ready, together," Alex nodded. Yes, together. Over the following days, they began preparing more seriously. Alex helped Lyra reinforce the apartment with simple but effective measures. They created escape routes, improvised alarms, and small defenses using tools and materials from the station. Alex learned quickly. Humans were often underestimated, but his adaptability and creativity made him a valuable partner. Lyra encouraged him, praising his solutions and ingenuity. Their routine also included quiet moments, meals together, small walks in the station gardens, and late-night conversations about life, the galaxy, and their hopes for the future. These moments reminded them both why they were fighting, not just for survival, but for connection, trust, and the beginnings of friendship that might grow into something stronger. One afternoon, Alex noticed Lyra studying the communication boards on the station. She seemed focused, almost worried. "What are you doing?" Alex asked. "Learning," she said. "I must understand how information spreads. Threats come in many forms. Knowledge is a weapon too." Alex watched her work, amazed by her focus and intelligence. She was not just powerful physically, but mentally. She saw patterns, possibilities, and dangers that he would have missed. Together, they balanced each other, his practicality and improvisation, her insight and power. That evening, they shared a quiet meal. Alex watched her eat, noticing how careful and deliberate her movements were. He realized that survival was not just about fighting enemies. It was about understanding, patience, and observation. Lyra had taught him this without words. As they finished their meal, Alex felt a sense of pride and warmth. He had faced danger, learned new skills, and grown stronger. More importantly, he had done it with someone he trusted completely. The galaxy outside could be chaotic, cruel, and unpredictable, but inside their apartment, there was calm, trust, and shared purpose. And so, life continued on Station Aurora. Alex and Lyra knew that threats would come again. They always did, but they were ready. Not just because of weapons, traps, or strength, but because they had each other. In a galaxy that often judged humans as weak, Alex had proven that courage, ingenuity, and loyalty could make a human as formidable as any alien. And with Lyra by his side, they were more than just survivors. They were a team. A small but shining light in the vast darkness of space. Life on Station Aurora had grown tense after the attack, but Alex and Lyra tried to return to normal. The small apartment felt safer, and the quiet routines helped them recover. Alex continued his work at the logistics bay, while Lyra stayed with him, learning more about human life and customs. They spoke often, shared meals, and found comfort in each other's presence. But the calm would not last. The attack had drawn attention. Rumors about Lyra's presence, her abilities, and her choice to stay with a human spread quickly across the station. Whispers traveled to the interstellar authorities, who were curious and cautious about a human harboring a powerful alien woman. Soon officers arrived at the station, their sleek ships docking in the bay with quiet precision. One afternoon, 2 officers came to their apartment. Their uniforms were formal, badges gleaming, eyes scanning every corner. Alex opened the door, trying to hide his nervousness. Lyra stood behind him, calm and poised, as always. "Good afternoon," Alex said. "How can we help you?" "We are here regarding the alien resident in this apartment," said the taller officer, a woman named Officer Malcolm. "We have received reports about her abilities and her choice to stay with a human. We need to assess the situation." Alex swallowed. He had expected suspicion, but the calm authority of the officers made him nervous. Lyra stepped forward. Her silver skin glowed faintly in the light. "I am here willingly," she said. "I do not need force. I choose to stay with this human because he offers trust, care, and safety." Officer Malcolm raised an eyebrow. "Humans are generally considered weak. Why would a being of your power choose to stay with one?" Lyra's violet eyes met hers steadily. "Because humans are different. They choose loyalty. They choose connection. Strength is not only physical or political. It is also care, courage, and attention. Alex Carter possesses these qualities. I trust him. I choose him." Alex felt his face warm. No one had ever spoken so highly of him, especially an alien. He had spent his life quietly, thinking of himself as small, unimportant. Yet here, someone extraordinary had recognized his value, not for power, but for character. The officers glanced at each other, clearly surprised. They had expected fear, dependence, or weakness. Instead, they found calm, mutual respect, and voluntary trust. It challenged their assumptions. "We will need to document your choice," Officer Malcolm said finally. "But it seems clear. You are here of your own will." Lyra nodded. "Yes, I am not coerced. I stay because I want to." The officers left, taking notes, but without further interference. Alex exhaled, relief washing over him. Lyra smiled at him softly. "See," she said, "humans are capable of inspiring trust and respect, even in a galaxy that doubts them." Alex shook his head. "I never thought of myself that way. Now you must," she said. "And others will notice too. Your choices, your courage, your care, they make a difference." In the days that followed, news of their story spread quietly through the station. Other aliens and humans whispered about the unusual partnership. Some were curious, some skeptical, but all noticed that Alex, a human, had faced danger, assisted in defense, and gained the trust of a powerful alien. Alex realized that life on Aurora had changed. People treated him differently, not with fear, but with a new kind of respect. Simple acts, helping organize supplies, sharing calm advice, staying composed under pressure, were noticed. He learned that humans had subtle strengths that others often overlooked. It was not raw power, technology, or alien skill. It was adaptability, creativity, and loyalty. Lyra encouraged him to embrace this recognition. Humans survive in ways others do not, she said one evening as they prepared a simple meal together. They improvise. They endure. They protect those they care about. That is what makes them extraordinary. Alex smiled, finally understanding. He had never thought of humans as particularly special. Quiet, ordinary, and overlooked. That was how he had seen himself. Yet in Lyra's eyes, he was capable, courageous, and valuable. He realized that the galaxy's assumptions about humans, weak, fragile, unimportant, were wrong. Humans had strength of heart, and it showed when it mattered most. Life continued on the station, but new challenges arose. Rival factions still watched from afar, curious about Lyra and her choice. Yet now they approached more cautiously, wary of the human she trusted. Alex noticed the subtle shift. His presence, his willingness to act, and his calm decision-making had changed how others viewed them. The galaxy had underestimated humans, and he was proof that they were wrong. One afternoon, Alex and Lyra walked through the station gardens. The artificial sunlight warmed their skin, and the soft hum of the station created a quiet rhythm. Aliens passed by, glancing at them with curiosity, and humans nodded politely. Alex felt a new confidence. He could navigate this galaxy, not with brute force, but with intelligence, courage, and careful thought. "You are different," Lyra said, glancing at him. "Humans like you are rare. You face fear and uncertainty, yet you act with calm. You think, you adapt, and you care. That combination, it is unusual." Alex laughed softly. "So I am rare, huh? Just a quiet human doing my best." "Not just doing your best," Lyra said firmly. "Doing what matters. Surviving. Protecting. Inspiring." Humans underestimate themselves, but others notice, eventually. Alex looked at her, grateful. He realized she had been teaching him all along, not just about alien culture, but about himself. He had grown, learned courage, and discovered strength he never knew he had. And it was because she had chosen to stay with him, trusting him, believing in him. As weeks passed, their apartment became a symbol on the station. Quiet, ordinary at first glance, yet inside, a human and an alien had proven something remarkable. Trust, courage, and loyalty could bridge worlds. Humans, often dismissed or ignored, could make choices that even powerful aliens respected. Station life returned to its usual rhythm, but Alex and Lyra were no longer just residents. They were known. People spoke of the calm human who had protected a powerful alien, and the alien who had chosen to stay with a human out of respect, trust, and connection. Their story challenged assumptions, showing that strength came in many forms, not only physical, but moral and emotional. One night, Alex and Lyra sat together in their apartment looking out at the stars. The galaxy beyond was vast, full of danger, mystery, and opportunity. Yet inside they had something rare: trust, understanding, and companionship. "Do you ever worry," Alex asked quietly, "that people will try to take you away again?" "Perhaps," Lyra said softly. "But I choose to stay, and you choose to protect. Together we face the galaxy not with fear, but with courage." Alex nodded, feeling a warmth he had never known. He realized that humans did not need to be strong in the way the galaxy expected. Intelligence, loyalty, courage, and care were enough. They made humans extraordinary, especially when paired with trust and friendship. The officers, the whispers, the rival factions, they would come and go. But what mattered most was the bond they shared. It was quiet, steady, and powerful. Alex and Lyra had proven that even a human, often underestimated, could change the galaxy's perception simply by acting with integrity, courage, and care. And in that small apartment, amid the hum of the station and the distant stars, Alex Carter finally understood: humans were not weak. They were adaptable, brave, and capable of inspiring loyalty and trust. The galaxy might doubt them, but the truth was clear. Humans could face danger, protect others, and stand alongside even the most powerful beings. And Lyra? She had chosen not just a safe home, but a human who saw the value of connection, loyalty, and courage. Together, they had proven that trust and care were stronger than fear. The galaxy could judge, question, or doubt. But in their small apartment on Station Aurora, a human and an alien had found something rare: mutual respect, trust, and the quiet strength to face whatever might come next. Alex looked at Lyra, feeling pride, gratitude, and something more he could not name. He realized that humans, often overlooked, carried something extraordinary inside, something that could change how the galaxy saw them. And with Lyra by his side, he would continue to show the galaxy just how remarkable a human could be. Their story was no longer hidden. It had begun to spread quietly, showing that even in a galaxy of power, weapons, and politics, the choices of a single human could matter. "What are you thinking about?" Alex asked, sitting beside her. "The galaxy," Lyra replied softly. "It watches. It notices. Humans are underestimated, yet capable of things even powerful species cannot imagine. You, Alex Carter, have reminded me why that is true." Alex felt a warmth in his chest. He had never thought of himself as remarkable. Quiet, careful, ordinary. That was how he had always seen himself. Yet here was Lyra, extraordinary in every way, saying that he was extraordinary too. It was a strange, powerful feeling. "I do not feel remarkable," he said quietly. "You are," she said firmly. "Humans survive because they adapt, because they care, because they endure. These are strengths that even the most advanced alien civilizations sometimes lack. You face fear without fleeing. You think and act when others hesitate. You inspire trust without commanding it. This is rare. This is remarkable." Alex looked away, feeling both shy and proud. He had spent his life quietly, unnoticed, thinking small. Now he realized that humans carried hidden strengths, quiet abilities that could change outcomes, protect lives, and earn respect across worlds. And Lyra had been the one to help him see it. "So, you're saying humans are better than we think?" Alex asked, trying to smile. "Yes," Lyra said simply. "Humans are underestimated. They are clever, brave, and loyal. And when they act together, or protect someone they care about, they can do extraordinary things." The word stayed with Alex throughout the day. He worked at the logistics bay, moving supplies, organizing cargo, and helping the station run smoothly. Every action, even simple, mundane tasks, felt different. He realized that humans did not need giant weapons, huge armies, or advanced technology to make a difference. Courage, loyalty, and quick thinking mattered more than anyone gave credit for. Later that evening, Lyra suggested a walk in the station gardens. The artificial sunlight bathed the paths in warm light, and quiet streams reflected the glowing trees. It was peaceful, calm, and safe, yet Alex could feel the tension lingering in the air. Rivals and observers might still be watching, waiting for a misstep. "Do you ever worry," Alex asked, "that someone will come for you again?" "Perhaps," Lyra said. "But fear is not helpful. Preparation and trust are. We have both, and we have each other." Alex looked at her. He realized that trust was more than just a feeling. It was action, attention, and care. Lyra had trusted him by staying. He had trusted her in the fight. Together they had survived threats that would have destroyed others. He had learned that humans, when trusted, could act with remarkable courage. Over the next few weeks, life continued with a careful balance. Alex and Lyra reinforced their apartment, improved security, and quietly observed the station. Rival factions seemed to hesitate, unsure of how to approach someone as careful and courageous as Alex, and as capable and respected as Lyra. Other humans began to notice him differently, not as a quiet, ordinary technician, but as someone capable of calm courage, intelligence, and ingenuity. It was subtle, but it mattered. One night, they sat together in their small apartment, sharing a simple meal. Alex looked at Lyra, who seemed lost in thought. "What are you thinking about?" he asked. "About choices," she replied. "I could leave this station. I could accept protection elsewhere. I could live safely among my people, but I choose to stay. Not because it is safe, but because you have shown me something rare: loyalty, courage, and trust without expectation." He had never imagined anyone choosing him in such a way, not for survival, not for power, but for connection. "And I choose to protect you," he said quietly. "Not because I have to, but because I want to. We've faced danger, we've survived, and I cannot imagine life without you here." Lyra's violet eyes softened. "Then we are partners," she said simply. "Human and alien, equal and trusted. We face the galaxy together, not as weak or strong alone, but as capable beings together." The next day, Alex realized that the small apartment, which once felt cramped and ordinary, had become a symbol. It was not just a place of safety, but a place of trust, courage, and connection. Humans were often overlooked, underestimated, and dismissed. Yet here, a human had proven his worth through action, loyalty, and ingenuity. The galaxy might doubt humans, but their choices could speak louder than weapons or power. Lyra helped him see the larger lesson. Humans were remarkable in ways many species forgot. They could survive through adaptability, think through problems quickly, and protect others without needing dominance. Courage, intelligence, and care were strengths the galaxy could not ignore forever. Weeks turned into months. Life on the station continued, and Alex and Lyra's presence became quietly known. Neighbors and other residents saw them together, sometimes sharing quiet meals, sometimes moving calmly through the station, sometimes defending their space with quick thinking and careful preparation. Whispers spread, not of fear, but of respect. Humans could be underestimated, but when trusted and acting with purpose, they could hold their own even among powerful aliens. One evening, Alex and Lyra sat in the small balcony overlooking the docking bays. Ships came and went, lights blinking, engines humming. Alex realized that the galaxy outside was vast, dangerous, and full of unknowns. Yet inside this small space he had found something rare: connection, trust, and courage, both in himself and in another being. "Do you think humans will ever be fully understood?" Alex asked softly. Lyra shook her head. "Perhaps not, but they do not need to be. Their strength is in their choices, their courage, and their care." "You have shown me this. You have shown the galaxy, quietly, that humans matter." Alex felt pride, warmth, and a sense of peace. He had grown from a quiet, ordinary technician into someone who could face danger, protect another, and act with courage when it mattered most. And he had done it alongside Lyra, who had taught him the value of trust, observation, and connection. Together, they were not just survivors. They were a symbol of what humans could do. In the weeks that followed, no threats came directly to their apartment. Rival factions remained cautious. Station authorities continued to respect their presence. Life had returned to a rhythm: work, meals, quiet conversations, walks in the gardens. But now every act felt more significant. Alex understood that humans, even quiet ones like him, could influence the galaxy through action, loyalty, and courage. One morning, as Alex prepared breakfast, Lyra approached with a small smile. "We have faced challenges, dangers, and doubts, and yet here we are." "You have grown, Alex Carter. Humans have strengths others forget to see. And together, we are stronger than either alone." Alex smiled, feeling warmth and pride. "We've learned a lot. Not just about each other, but about ourselves. Humans can survive. We can protect. We can inspire. And we can be trusted." Lyra nodded. "Yes, and that is worth more than power or technology alone." As the sun-like lights of the station glimmered, Alex and Lyra shared a quiet meal, knowing that their small apartment was more than home. It was a place of trust, courage, and connection. Humans had been underestimated, but Alex had shown that even one ordinary human could make a difference. And Lyra had chosen him, not for his strength, but for his heart, his courage, and his loyalty. The galaxy outside continued to spin, vast and full of unknowns, but inside, human and alien had found something rare and enduring. They were partners, companions, and protectors of one another. Alex realized that the greatest victories were not always fought in battles or wars. They were fought in trust, courage, and the quiet acts of care that defined who humans could be. And in that quiet space, amidst blinking lights, soft hums, and distant stars, Alex Carter finally understood something extraordinary. Humans, even small, quiet, ordinary humans, were capable of greatness. Their choices, their courage, and their loyalty could inspire trust, change minds, and survive across worlds. And with Lyra by his side, he had proven it, not just to her, but to the galaxy itself. Together, they faced the future calmly, confidently, and connected. Humans were adaptable, brave, and capable of extraordinary things. And Alex, with Lyra at his side, would continue to show the galaxy exactly that. In the quiet hum of the station, a human and an alien had found their home, not just a place to live, but a place to trust, a place to grow, and a place to prove that even the smallest, quietest humans could shine brightly in the galaxy. And so, their story ended. Not with war, not with conflict, but with choice, courage, and trust. Humans, underestimated for so long, had shown their true strength. And Alex Carter, once a quiet technician, had become a symbol of what humans could do when they acted with heart, bravery, and loyalty. The galaxy might watch, doubt, or judge, but inside a small apartment on Station Aurora, a human and an alien had found something extraordinary. Each other, trust, and the quiet, unstoppable power of humanity. Courage, loyalty, care! These were strengths that the galaxy often forgot. Alex and Lyra had reminded it, quietly but clearly. And so, the days went on. Life was still challenging, still full of potential danger, but it was also full of hope, trust, and shared purpose. Alex and Lyra knew that the galaxy might never fully understand humans, but they also knew this. Sometimes the quiet, the simple, and the loyal could change everything. In a galaxy full of assumptions and expectations, Alex Carter, a human, and Lyra, an alien, had proven one undeniable truth. Strength came in many forms, and humans, when trusted and believed in, were capable of extraordinary things. Life on Station Aurora had returned to a quiet rhythm, but Alex and Lyra knew it would never be the same. The galaxy had noticed them, humans and aliens alike. Whispers spread about the small human who had faced danger, helped defend a powerful alien, and earned the respect of officers, neighbors, and even rival factions. Alex sometimes thought about it and shook his head. He had never asked for recognition. All he had done was survive, think quickly, and help Lyra. Yet the galaxy seemed to take note quietly and curiously, as though it was beginning to understand something important about humans. Lyra, as always, was calm and observant. She moved through the apartment, tending to small tasks, meditating, and learning more about Alex's ways. She had come from a world where everything was structured, powerful, and carefully controlled. Here, she saw the beauty in improvisation, in courage without planning, in loyalty without expectation. Humans were messy, unpredictable, and emotional, but in that, they were strong. One morning, Alex woke to find Lyra standing at the window looking out at the stars. The sunlight reflected off her silver skin, making her glow faintly. She seemed thoughtful, almost distant. She sometimes disappeared for hours, wandering the station, observing people, or sitting quietly in the gardens, watching the artificial sunlight filter through the leaves. Alex worried at first, but she always returned, calm and smiling. "Why do you wander?" Alex asked one day as she returned from a walk. "I learn about humans by watching," she said. "I see how you interact, how you think, how you move. It is necessary for me to understand my home here. Alex blinked. So you spy on people? Lyra tilted her head. Not spy, observe. There is a difference, Alex laughed. She was so serious, and yet so unlike anyone he had ever met. He also noticed how quickly Lyra picked up on human emotions. When he was tired, she offered him tea or a warm blanket. When he was frustrated at work, she asked simple questions that helped him think clearly. Humans were not used to such attention, Alex realized. Most people assumed others did not care, or that help was a burden. Lyra made care seem natural, effortless, and comforting. Their bond began to grow. It was quiet, subtle, almost invisible to outsiders. Neighbors might notice them talking softly in the hallway, sharing meals, or laughing at small jokes, but it looked normal enough. Alex found himself thinking about her when he was at work. He would smile at small memories. Her soft laugh, the way she tilted her head when curious, or the calm way she moved when everything around them was chaotic. One day, Alex decided to take Lyra to the station marketplace. She had never seen it up close. The marketplace was crowded, noisy, filled with humans and aliens haggling, selling, and buying. Smells, colors, and sounds clashed and blended in ways that made Alex dizzy at first, but he loved it. It was life, messy and bright and alive. Humans are strange, Lyra said quietly, observing the crowd. Alex laughed. We are. But we are interesting too. She looked at him, eyes wide.